Welcome to Wellness Rebranded.
We know there is so much conflicting health and fitness advice out there.
And you're tired of the wellness fads, endless diets, and impossible standards that make you feel like nothing you do is ever enough.
You're ready to tune into your mind and body and feel empowered around health.
We're the Healing Trio, here to help you redesign your relationships with food, fitness, and yourself.
I'm Elizabeth, registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor.
I'm Maria, licensed mental health therapist.
And I'm Tara, personal trainer.
Together, we're changing the narrative on health away from diet culture, hustle culture, and toxic positivity and towards healthful self-care.
So grab your water bottle, get ready to laugh, learn, and grow.
And let's start rebranding your wellness journey.
Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and I've got a really important and free 10-day video series that I want to tell you about. It's called Informed, Diet Culture Truth Bombs You Need to Know Before Changing a Thing About Your Eating in January. Every year, I see the same flashy and misleading diet culture marketing preying on people's insecurities as we head into the new year. I see well-meaning eaters falling into the same restrictive food traps again and again, jumping into programs and approaches that not only don't solve, but actually worsen their eating struggles and relationship with food in their bodies. And I think, if only they could know some key facts about dieting, food restriction, and what is and isn't likely to work when it comes to supporting their eating, health, and well-being before committing to a single change. Well, now you can. In a 10-day series of short, I'm talking 5 minutes or less, videos, I'll be pulling back the curtain on the most important information you need to know to make a fully informed decision about how to best approach your eating, health, and well-being in 2024. Just visit my Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating community on Facebook or send me an email at livehealthy@ElizabethHarrisNutrition to join. The link to my email will be in the show notes. I can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back to another episode of Wellness Rebranded. If you are new to us, this is the podcast where a dietitian, a personal trainer, and a mental health therapist get together to serve up a delicious buffet of insights. Today, this is Maria, and I'm here with Tara and Elizabeth, and we're going to talk about exercising in the cold.
Ooh la la, skiing?
Yuck.
Yuck is
what?
right.
I love
I don't like
skiing.
exercising in the cold.
All right, let me just be honest here, guys. I hate the cold.
So, as do I.
If it's below
As do
like
I.
60, count me out.
I hate the cold also, but can I tell you a little secret?
Tell me.
I actually kind of really like exercising in the cold because it makes me feel twice as proud. Like that was
that was already one insurmountable issue.
yes, that
and
was
you
a
did
hurdle that I cleared because I persevered.
it. Yes, I
I
love that.
feel very proud of myself even when I don't even exercise. Imagine if it's gonna
Yes, I'm proud of myself just for existing when it's cold
I'm getting an
outside.
image of Maria
Tara.
strutting
Thank
around
you,
as a
Tara.
peacock.
Yes. Okay.
When I first moved back here from Hawaii, I was just like appalled that I
You
chose.
lived in Hawaii?
I did, and Costa Rica.
Maria,
No, I
have
knew-
you
I'm a
met
tropical
Tara?
person.
Tara, may I introduce you to Maria?
Oh, that's so funny. No, I knew you lived in Costa Rica, never Hawaii.
Yes, I went
For
to
how
college in
long?
Hawaii. I was there almost 3 years.
Nice.
Yes, and choosing
Okay.
to live in a place where the air hurts my face,
Oh,
I just question this decision every winter.
you should.
I know. It's a long story, but I'm here and it's fine.
I'm glad you're here, though. I'm here, too, and I question
plan-
that decision, too.
The plan was actually to move back to Hawaii, and then I messed around and put down too many roots here, and now I don't want to leave, even though I want my life to be elsewhere. So
Okay, so you don't like the cold. I
No.
support that. So how do we even exercise in the cold?
Okay, so the number one most common complaint I hear in the wintertime is I don't want to go exercise because it's cold
Mm-hmm.
And dark.
and dark. It gets dark so early here. And of course, we're recording this like mid-December, so it's like the shortest days possible
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yes.
So there's a couple ways to look at this, and honestly, nobody's going to like this, but there's no bad weather, only bad clothing.
That's what I knew you were going to say that. I learned that when I first learned to ski, which I took up later in life in my 30s, and somebody told me that, and it stuck with me.
I have a client who's a sailor, and he sails like right now. And I'm like, ew, like, why are you out on the water in weather like this? And he's like, he's British, so he's like, Tara, there's no bad weather. There's only bad clothing. And I'm like, well, fair.
Well, you're right. Some people are not gonna like it, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either. That doesn't change the fact that it's true.
Okay.
So when we talk about exercising in the cold, I feel like there's a couple things we should address, and then we'll talk about how to like motivate yourself to get out there and just do it anyway. So first thing, like
Maria's face is cracking me up right now.
I'm waiting.
I don't know what it means,
like
but that is
I'm
a
waiting to see what you're gonna say.
very expressive face.
I'm listening.
All right. So exercising in the cold can be dangerous, right?
Ooh, tell us.
Like, let's-
more reason for me
Frostbite?
not to do it.
Are we talking like frostbite dangerous or something else?
Yeah, like hypothermia, dangerous.
Yeah.
Frostbite, dangerous. Dyspnea, dangerous. Like,
What is dyspnea?
It's like difficulty breathing.
Oh, okay.
So those are like the three main things. And unless you're living in like, this North Pole or something, you probably don't have to like truly worry about this
If you have the right gear.
if you have the right gear. But like having exposed skin, you're out for a jog and it's like 30 degrees outside. Like your skin's probably not going to be super happy
Yeah.
about that, right? So like kind of like protecting your skin from the elements. I doubt you'll get frostbite here in Maryland from jogging in the cold, but like possible. So just like be aware of it. I actually have a funny story to tell you guys about the time I got hypothermia.
What?
Did I tell you guys this story yet on the pod?
I'm not laughing that you got hypothermia, but the way you just dropped that in was unexpected.
Okay, so here's a funny story. My grandparents are from Western Pennsylvania, the wilderness counties out there, and there is nothing in that area, and it is freezing cold most of the time. So every Easter we would go to my grandparents' house, and they lived in the middle of nowhere. Their driveway was like a mile long, woods, mountains, and they had a stream. We called it the creek that ran through their yard, and it pooled into this big like reservoir, like right in their yard. So the pool was probably like 50 yards wide. It's not this massive lake, but it's just like a yucky pond, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a little spillway where it would go down and continue down the mountain, right? So every Easter, my grandpa would take an Easter egg and put a rock in it, like one of those plastic ones, and throw it out into the middle. And whoever would swim out and get the Easter egg got $50.
Wait, can you say that again? He took an Easter egg and tied it to a rock?
Like
Is that what you
put a-
said?
So
he put a rock in the middle of it so it would like sink.
Oh.
in the pond.
And whoever would jump into the pond and get this Easter egg would get $50 in cash or a $100 savings bond.
Wow, so I grew up on a pond in Connecticut, and let me tell you, you are not swimming in that thing, so I'm a little bit like, ooh, really? Right
And
now?
this is already Easter, right?
Yes,
So, like,
it's
maybe
Easter.
March.
So it's like
But
March or
maybe really cold.
April.
Hey, she wanted the $50.
Well,
So, guys, this is my claim to fame. I am the only person in the history of the family that has ever gotten the Easter egg.
And then hypothermia.
I'm picturing Tiny Tara with like a scuba mask.
Okay, wait. So you go in.
So I was like 9 years old, maybe 10. I was young.
Ah.
My grandpa throws this thing in the pond. My entire family, my aunt and uncle and my cousins are standing there. My mom and dad and brother, like the whole
Clapping.
family's standing around. And me and my brother are following our cousin Adam, who's about a year older than me, around, oh, this is the best way to get in. And he's telling us, oh, come on this side. This is the way. This is the way. And meanwhile, he's never jumped in the pond to get it. He doesn't know the way. But me and Chris are following like little puppy dogs. And finally, I was tired of this like nonsense. And I said, I'm just getting it. And I jumped in. And I swam out to the middle and grabbed this Easter egg. And I turned around and I thought, I'm going to swim straight to my grandpa and be like, pay me. And then the cold set in because there were literally ice around the edge of this pond. Like
Oh
I
my
definitely
gosh.
like broke through ice to get this Easter egg. It wasn't frozen over, but there were definitely like ice chunks in it. And I swam out there and I got the Easter egg and then I completely got disoriented and had no idea
That's
where
so
I was.
scary.
Yeah, if this was my child, if this was Mavs, I would have been shitting my pants.
I'm thinking that this has 70s written all over it, but you weren't born. You weren't 9 in the 70s.
Nope, this was probably like early 90s.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
my dad, I see him on the edge, like taking off his tennis shoes and like taking his sweatshirt off, getting ready to jump in and get me. And finally, everybody was like, come on, come on, come on, like panicking, but like, you got this, T. And I made it to the edge, and my parents grabbed me and they ran me up to the apartment where we were staying above the garage, and they threw me in a shower that was like 100% hot water.
Are you not supposed to do that, actually?
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, FYI.
Okay. Yeah.
That's part of what we're like talking
Yeah.
about today. You're supposed to be in like cool water and gradually warm it up.
Yeah.
But it's the 90s, right? So like nobody knew anything. So
We still don't
You know, the
it.
dark ages. That's a crazy story.
so anyway, I survived,
So-
and I bought a strawberry shortcake bike with my $50.
You didn't even get the 100?
I did not.
Up until that point, they thought this was a good idea, jumping in the pond in the middle of winter with ice on it?
I guess.
That's so weird.
Listen, I didn't say we came from like a long line of geniuses.
Wow.
But they retired that tradition that year because
Oh, well, I
they
should-
decided
I
it was
should hope so.
too dangerous.
But it's
So
interesting to me that it was a tradition and no one had ever actually gotten in the pond before.
People had like waded up to their like knees. They get like halfway out and then they're like, no, this is too cold. You know, like everybody likes to play, but I'm the only one who did it, guys. So there's my claim to fame.
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that.
I was gonna say I don't know whether to congratulate
well,
you or
Both. We can do both. I'm sorry you went through that, but I admire the determination. Right? Is that
Thank
good?
you.
Yes. But please don't do it again.
So lesson learned, guys. If you are in the water in the cold, you are going to lose heat much, much, much faster than if you are just
Scary.
in air. You lose it 3 to 5 times more quickly in water. So if somehow you're in the cold and you get wet, whether it's like raining on you or it snowed and the snow melted and your clothes are now wet, doesn't matter. Like you need to get out of that situation.
What about wetness because of your sweat?
Yes, that still counts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good question.
it's really
Thank you.
important in the cold to dress in layers so that you don't sweat. Like a little sweat is okay, right? But you don't want to be like dripping. So you want to have like a wicking base layer. Of course, clothes technology has come a long way.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
Now our clothes are just like, oh, well, automatically is going to wick sweat away from us. So a wicking base layer, something warm for your mid layer, and then something waterproof for your outer layer so that you can take off as needed.
Okay.
Wicking,
Definitely.
warm, waterproof. The
Yep,
three
the
W's,
3 Ws.
of dressing for the cold.
Okay.
So another really good example of this is I was coaching a half marathon team. And I know you guys are looking at me like, you coached a half marathon team? Yes, I hate running, but it was for a good cause, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So I said yes.
Oh, well done.
Well, at this point, I didn't know you lived in Hawaii, so anything else I don't know, bring it on. I'm surprised.
So we were running the Rock and Roll Las Vegas marathon, half marathon, in Las Vegas, where you run down the strip at night. And it was not in the summertime. I don't remember when it was, but it wasn't super cold. But as soon as the sun goes down in the desert, it gets cold.
Yeah.
So I knew this ahead of time. So I ran the marathon wearing like a sports bra, a tank top, a t-shirt, another t-shirt, my hoodie, and then a couple more like Coach jerseys on top because I knew I was going to be freaking freezing and I couldn't run in a parka because that just looks silly. And they wanted me to have like the Coach on the back of my shirt so that if people needed help, they knew they could come to me. And I'm telling you guys, I ran that race and I was fine from a warmth perspective, but many other people were not.
Yeah.
As I was running the race, I would see people just like shivering and shaking, even though they were running like a
Right.
half marathon. They might have been like 8 miles in.
They
and
need
they
those
were
gold
shivering.
foil things they wrap around you at the end.
Totally, like the space blankets. So I ran this race just taking off my shirt and like putting it on people as I ran
Aw.
past, because so many people were so cold. And of course, they had like the warm, slow bus at the back picking up everybody that was freezing. So even if you're running and you think, oh my God, I'm going to be so hot running, like you might not be. So please, please dress appropriately.
Yes. We
And fun fact,
underestimated.
I was the second to last person to finish that race.
Nice.
but-
Because you were stripping the whole time. That takes time.
Bow chicka wow wow. Also because I had teammates that were pretty slow, so I was
Yeah.
like running back with them. I actually ended up doing 18 miles in that race, which sucked.
Because of like looping back and
Yes,
forth.
because I would loop back and
Oh my
get
gosh.
people.
Wow.
And
That's a lot of
then-
extra miles.
Listen to this crazy story. This is the episode of Crazy Stories.
Yeah.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation put this on, and they made all the drinks along the race, like Gatorade, the Powerade mix, whatever, with non-potable water, like from the fire
that's
hydrants.
awful.
So not only do these people who are running this
Yes.
already have digestive issues, but now they are
no, my
drinking
heart is breaking.
non-potable water. I'm telling you, the lobby of the Mandalay Bay covered in barf, in poop, in sweat. It was nuts.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a health hazard at all.
It was crazy. And they ran out of food and drinks at the finish line. So thank God. Shout out to Marcus for buying me 2 liters of water and 3 bananas.
How long ago was this?
This was probably like 7 or 8 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a minute.
Okay.
I would not do it again. But then we walked over to the not the Bellagio, the one shaped like a pyramid, and waited in line at a Subway for like 4 hours to get a sandwich
Wow.
afterwards. And by the time we got there, they were like, "We only have bread left," and I was like, "Give me 4 foot longs."
Wow.
And that was that. So
Wow.
there's my crazy experience. But the point of it was hypothermia is a thing, even if you're
Mm-hmm.
exercising. You don't have to be jumping in a pond like stupid 9-year-old me. You can just be doing something good for charity and also get really cold and wet.
Mm-hmm.
So please be careful.
Yes.
Let's talk about motivation. Right? That's the real thing, right?
Let's talk about motivation.
Full disclosure, I'm not the best person to talk about this because you will not find me exercising in the cold and the dark. I will go to the gym in the warm and the light before I will go outside and do these things. However, if you are an outdoor person like Elizabeth, I consider
Yes.
you an outdoor person.
I love to be outside. And
There
I
are things
don't
you can
like
do.
to let the winter stop me.
So dressing appropriately, like job number 1, the 3 W's
Yep.
of dressing for the cold. I also think it's important to like find a reason to go out. Get a partner,
Yeah.
right? Elizabeth, you're really good at this.
Yes.
You always invite people to like, let's meet for a walk.
Yes.
You know?
And it's just honestly it's multitasking.
Yep.
It's me killing 2 birds with 1 stone, which I hate that phrase, but I get to visit with my friends and I get to go outside and move my body and I like that, but also it is a little bit of if I made a plan with you, I'm probably not going to back out unless it's raining. I really don't like rain.
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
I'm water averse.
She will exercise in frigid temperatures.
I
but
will,
God
and
forbid
I
it
will
be
also go
sprinkling.
in the dark, but throw in rain and I'm out.
Let's talk about going in the dark. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're walking, running, skating, whatever you're doing in the dark, please put on something reflective so that you're
Yes.
safe. They sell these little things for dog collars on Amazons that are just like little like flashing lights, or you can put it on various colors. It doesn't have to be flashing, but that kind of stuff is really saving lives. So
Yes.
I rarely walk without my dog. So Jules has 2 on her leash, 1 on the handle part and 1 on her collar.
That's smart.
Of course, my toddler loves them and is obsessed. He probably uses them way more than we use them. But something like that will keep you safe. So please put that on. Marcus loves a headlamp. So
Yeah.
he'll go for a walk with his like 1,000,000-watt headlamp lighting up the houses. You can see people inside going like, what's happening out there? Because the light is so bright they see it in their walls. So wearing something like that can be really helpful in terms of keeping you safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So motivation-wise, suck it up and just do it.
Mhm.
That's like the worst way, but it is the way, right?
Well, can I add there? I would phrase that slightly differently, perhaps.
By all means. Nice that up for
But
us.
think about your why, right?
Yes.
It's easy to wake up and think it's cold out and therefore I don't want to go. But why do you want to move your body? Is your why stronger than it's cold?
Then your hate of the cold, totally. So think about your why, suck it up and just do it. Make sure that it's something you enjoy,
Yeah.
right? Like it might be cold. And
Ice skating. I love ice skating.
Yes, like look for things that embrace the cold, like
Maria's
ice
face
skating.
is so funny. I'm taking it you don't like ice skating?
No, I can do ice skating, but when she's saying something that you enjoy, I'm like dancing. So I guess I'll dance in the cold. Like, I don't
could.
think so.
You can shake your booty in
I
any
can.
kind of weather.
Yes.
Yes,
But you can do
could.
that inside, so even better.
Right, even better.
I love ice skating.
Yeah.
Are you good at
I grew
it?
up on a pond. I'll tell.
Not one that
I
fell
actually
through.
have a small funny story. So I did grow up on a pond, and we ice skated all the time, and I love it. But when my nephew was about 9 years old, he's a pretty big kid, we took them ice skating at the Naval Brigade here in Annapolis,
yes.
and he
Oh, yeah.
didn't know how to ice skate at all, and they didn't tend to do those things much. And Brian and I were like, it's going to be super fun. Like, we'd take them ice skating. But he didn't know what he was doing, and he was falling, and he grabbed onto me as he was falling and yanked me back. I smashed my head
Ooh.
so hard on the ice that I swear I had a concussion. I did go into the ER and get it checked because I had a horrible headache for days. They said I didn't have a concussion, but I'm really scared to ice skate now, even though I love it.
How long ago was that?
I'm trying to think if my oldest daughter was even born. It was probably 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So that kind of ruined me on ice skating. But before that, yeah, I was good at it. I mean, you know, like I'm not Dorothy Hamill or anything, or Hamilton. What's her name?
I don't know. I'm Christy Yamaguchi age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess I did just date myself. Funny. I mean,
Tanya Harding age.
I was not that good, but I could ice skate, and it was fun, and I could go backwards. I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty good. I can't go
What
backwards.
about the roller skate? Can you do roller
Oh, yeah. Hello, I grew up in the 70s. I can roller skate.
Oh man, we got Miss Roll Bounce over here.
Okay, so find
I love
something
it.
we enjoy.
Yeah.
Find something you enjoy. Lean into the cold.
Skiing,
Maybe you go skiing,
hiking.
snowboarding. You know, maybe you're just like sledding.
Yeah, I was
know
going
we
to say,
think of
those are
sledding as,
inaccessible
like,
for a lot of... So sledding's hard
Totally.
work. I used to do
Yeah.
that with the
Sledding
kids.
is hard work.
Trucking up that hill, it's good exercise and fun.
Yes, totally agree. You know, just look for ways that you can get out there. Like making a
Biking.
snowman is actually a hard
Yeah,
work. If you live in a
totally.
snowy place, you know, have a snowball fight, build an igloo.
Yeah.
Like lean into the cold rather
Yeah.
than resisting and trying to do your normal warm things while it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And wearing the right gear.
Wearing the right gear, super important.
All right, how else do we motivate?
That's a good question.
Maria, any suggestions?
No, I think I like the idea of suck it up and do it. I mean, without even the suck it up, just do it, right?
Yeah.
Like many other things that we do in the cold weather because we have to do it. Like go take my kids somewhere or go, I don't know, whatever. Walk from one way to the other. I still do it because I have to do it. So sometimes it's like, yeah, your why and say this is going to be good for me, and without thinking much, just go out and do it.
Yeah.
I also think pausing to reframe it is
Yeah.
important
Yes.
too. Like, oh, I have to go exercise and it's yucky outside. Like, that's definitely not motivating. But if you pause and go, oh, how fun. I wonder if I'll see any stars out there because it's so dark tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like I'm really stressed out today, and maybe that thing that feels like maybe it won't be fun will actually help me de-stress.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Be good for my mental health. But I would also say if movement is an important part of your health promoting plan and something you want to do, odds are if the cold really is just a barrier that you can't or know you're not going to cross, there's plenty of things you can do inside in the winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are plenty
Maybe
of
we
other
should do another
options.
episode about that. You don't have to suck it up and do it outside.
Right.
If
Yep.
you want to move, there are other options.
And if you really have no idea, I do take clients virtually.
That's how I train.
Trains with me that way.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
love
even
it.
have to leave your home. You can just meet me on Zoom or on FaceTime, and we'll have
Yeah,
a good workout and a fun chat.
I love seeing Tara's face at 7:30 a.m. every morning. Not every morning. What am I talking about? Twice a week.
Yes, you're so ambitious.
Or every morning. No.
And do you think is the time when people need the most motivation? Like I feel that winter and the cold weather and getting dark is when we need to move more because already there's so many other variables that keep the
seasonal
motivation
affective
down.
disorder and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so then it's the hardest time, but probably the time that you need it the most. Like in my case, it's really when I need it the most because I do see the difference in my energy level
Yep.
because of the weather and getting dark. So then I have less motivation, but it's when I need it the most because it's a cycle, right? The more you do it, the more motivation and energy and so on.
I have a lot of clients that come see me during the winter very regularly, and then when it's warm outside, they're like, "Man, I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, that
I'll
makes
text
sense.
you if I need you."
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they do, but mostly people need that like external motivation, like
Yes.
coming to see me in the winter time.
That makes
And you
sense.
know what I love about this entire conversation is not once did we ever talk about moving your body to burn off calories or lose weight
Yeah,
or
true.
anything like that.
In case you want that, you actually burn more calories in the cold, which is a good reason to refuel really well after.
Yeah, I like that.
But
no,
yeah,
I
just
like it.
shivering and stuff is
Yes,
a big part of that.
You might need more food.
You might need more food.
Post workout
Yep.
in the cold. I do always have a hearty lunch on those ski slopes.
Yes.
Yes.
Just half the fun.
Yeah.
I like sitting in the lodge drinking hot chocolate, watching everybody else kill themselves on the slope.
Yeah. I
I
think you
couldn't even go, period. Okay, I'm going to be at home watching Netflix with my hot chocolate while the two of you are skiing.
I mean,
Get
in all
it?
reality, I'm at home too, but
you just talked about how much more you need to be moving in the winter.
Yeah, but
you don't have to be skiing.
No, exactly.
I love
Yes.
skiing though. It's so beautiful up on those
I
mountains.
should have learned, but no. It's
Maria,
too
me and you
cold.
can go like tubing.
Yeah, there
We'll
you go.
take the
I like
tubing
doing
down.
that too. It is
Yes.
fun.
Tubing
Yeah,
is
that's
a
way fun.
lot of fun.
And you
Yes.
don't have to take up that magic carpet. You can walk up. That's what I used to
Yes.
do. Walk up beside it because why not?
Yeah.
I
And
like-
walking in
I
the
like
snow is
walking.
way hard.
It's so hard.
It's like
Snowshoeing
sand
is a
times
really
5.
fun exercise if you happen to be somewhere with snow. Have you ever been
That is
snowshoeing?
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my athletes just won gold medal in the Special Olympics for snowshoeing.
Get out. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that was like a
It's
thing
a
you
thing.
could do. Wow, very
It's
cool.
a thing. He won
Nice.
first place by like 10 minutes. He killed
Oh,
it.
wow.
Isn't it true what you said, Maria, though, about
It's
kind of
always true what I say. Right.
knowing sometimes no matter what you're talking about when it comes to your like health or mental health or any of it, there are things we may not necessarily want to do in the moment, but we know that they're good for us and help us enrich the quality of our days and show up differently, and so we try to do them anyway.
Yes, and the more you
Yeah.
get to know yourself, the more you're going to know that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you will know and notice that maybe your energy level is lower than usual or your mood is lower than usual. So then that's the time to do something about it. And movement is one of them.
Right, and maybe that's a
Mhm.
cue from your body that you can practice
Mhm.
picking up on, tuning
Mhm.
into.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you, Tara. So where do people find you if they want to do this virtual training?
Yes, so my contact info is in the show notes. Reach out anytime. I would love to help you on your cold fitness journeys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you want to connect with me outside of this podcast, you can find me on Instagram at coaching_therapist.
I'm Elizabeth. You can find me at Elizabeth Harris Nutrition or in my Facebook group, Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Tara De Leon Fitness. Guys, if you loved this episode or any of our other episodes, we would love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcast. It really, really helps us get the non-diet word out to the rest of the world. So please leave us a review.
Yes, thank you.